What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode here on Wide Eye Sports. Today, we are talking Minnesota Vikings. Boys, we already did our draft episode, but today we're going to be talking Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to talk a little bit of everything because we're kind of at the start of the 2027 season now, or 2026-27 season, in that the draft is over. And the next big thing is off-season workouts. June minicamp and training camp is dead ahead of us. That is what we're focused on now. And then it's the season. Like we're halfway through the off-season essentially. So we really don't we have 3 months of off-season and then we're in training camp. And
just the worst stretch of the year, brother, as far as
I wouldn't say that. I
Right
love
now?
this time of year. I love this time of year.
Okay, listen, you have to understand, I'm very fresh in my hockey fandom, so I'm not a huge hockey guy. And then, baseball, it's okay. It's fun. It's fun to go. It's not
I was
the
about to
best.
say, if you're not watching the hockey playoffs right now, bro, you are missing out.
But anyways, state of hockey, Minnesota Vikings. They picked Caleb Banks with their first overall pick, and a surprise to a lot of people, including yours truly.
You were shocked live.
I was shocked. I didn't even really look into Banks that much because everybody had kind of written off the fact that he could be a first round pick because of the foot injury, and I was higher on him than a lot of people. I had him in my final mock draft of the season. I had him going to the Seahawks at 32. So I definitely thought he could be a first-round pick. A mid-first-round pick, that would have shocked me. I'm really high on Caden McDonald, who the Texans got this top of the second round. And I think this is a very clear example of one thing, and it happens all the time, and it goes both ways, media and coaches, but where the media aligning of a player and the coach's aligning of a player it's just off. Because if you listen to Ryan Poles talk in his presser after the Bears draft, they asked him, D-line's a big need for you guys. What stopped you guys from going D-line? All the top D-linemen aside from one were on the board. And he said, D-line usually really helps the back end get going, and if we had a defensive lineman available to us that we thought could have been the number one D lineman on the board, we would have taken him. And there was only one D lineman off the board at that point. And so I think there were other teams in the 20s thinking Banks was the top D lineman available as well. And the more I look into this, it becomes very clear that, this dude is 6'6", 327 pounds. Let's see if I can pull up his combine stuff. Give me 1 second here, because that's where he hurt his foot the second time. I don't know. Did you guys see that? Have you guys seen any of that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So he hurt his foot last year in a game, and he broke his foot, and then he was healing from his foot, getting ready for the combine, and was wearing like sprinter shoes at the combine to run the 40 in. And the shoes were, I guess, too tight or too small, and it re-aggravated the injury and ended up causing a microfracture in that broken bone in his foot. And essentially that's what he had surgery on the second time. And now doctors are saying he'll be good to go in June. But if it wasn't for that, before that broken foot, he was like I went back and looked because I didn't know for sure. He was being talked about as this guy's a top 10 pick. Is the best D lineman best D tackle in the draft. He's going to be a top 10 pick. He's 6'6", 330 pounds, 37 inch.
He's fucking huge.
Fucking massive man that wins with speed. Like, he is massive, and the way he wins isn't with power, it's with finesse and speed. So if you can teach him to win with power too, then you have an absolute game record. A lot of people, the number one comp I've seen on Caleb Banks is Chris Jones. The number one comp I've seen. So he's that level athlete. He's that level player. But the foot injury has really kind of tanked the draft value. And
which is crazy because it sounds like he's going to be available for the season. So it tanked his off-season availability?
the reason, so this is what I'm talking about. The coaches and the media were off on this, right? The coaches had access to all the medical evaluations, all the doctors' meetings, all of that. And the doctors are going, yeah, no, they'll be fine by June. In June minicamp, he'll be on the field. No sweat, 100% full go. And the media sitting there go, oh, he re-broke the same foot he broke before. This is an obvious red flag. He's got a foot issue. It's re-aggravated. You can't trust that the foot's going to be healthy because he just re-injured it. Same foot. So like you can't trust it. So he can't be a first round prospect because you're taking too big of an inherent risk with the foot injury. I mean, you're looking at, this isn't a tendon injury. This isn't this isn't like some like lingering hamstring. It's a bone. Like it's a bone that will heal and go back together and grow stronger. And I mean, you're seeing it with Gerard McCoy in his fall in the draft because of the knee, right? Like that's another top 15 guy, but because of the knee and the doctors not being confident, he fell way further. So,
in which teams still had him ranked pretty high, which is it's kind of the exact opposite situation as Banks.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Exactly. But the media didn't know about the knee situation, the bone plug situation until a week before the draft. So everybody thought, oh, he's fine. Like the ACL's healing fine. Doctors are okay with it. He'll be a top 15 pick. And then they found out about it. They're like, oh, well, now we don't really know what's going to happen. And obviously crazy stuff happened. Our second round pick, Jake Galladay, he is basically huge Andrew Van Ginkel fan over here. He's basically a clone of Andrew Van Ginkel. Their measurables are almost 1-for-1. And so I think that was a Brian Flores pick of like Van Ginkel's 31. I want to get a guy in here who can play that role when Van Ginkel walks away, who's younger. We can teach him. I think it's a great pick. The Vikings linebacker room is now 3/4 Cincinnati Bearcats. 3 out of the 4 linebackers in that room are Cincinnati boys. And then
shout out Cincinnati to Minnesota Pipeline.
Yep. And then our first third round pick, Big Citrus. Oh, the thing I was so excited. I still am.
I love that shit, bro. That
Big
is so
Citrus
awesome.
and Minnesota. Dude, Big Citrus and Caleb Banks. You're gonna have a situation where you have Caleb Banks, Big Citrus, and then Jalen Redmond. And I know Jalen Redmond isn't a household name yet, but you can go look at the stats from last season, like analytically and in those ways of like, pressure win percentage, run block win percentage, those rates. He was a top 5 lineman across the board over like linemen, not just defensive tackle, linemen across the board. He doesn't have all the flashy sacks because he's a D tackle. Like that's just not going to happen. But he really came out of nowhere last year. And if that wasn't a flash in the pan season, this interior 3 is going to be absolutely insane for the next 3 to 4 years. You combine that with Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, who for all this stuff I love about Jonathan Grenard. We trade Jonathan Grenard for 2/3, a third this year and a third next year. And I do love Grenard. Dallas Turner outplayed Grenard when healthy last season. They played the same amount of games. Turner had more sacks, more or less missed tackles, more total tackles. Like he outplayed him in the same amount of games. Tiernan, I believe is how you say this. Caleb Tiernan, tackle out of Northwestern. He was like the next best tackle after the first round of tackles, right? Like he was graded out as the next best. He's like the 7th best tackle, but it's a pretty steep drop off. Like he's going to be a swing tackle. He's not going to be a starting right tackle for the next decade and a half in the NFL. Like this is not who he is. So, but he's a really determined young kid who can learn to be a swing tackle. We got the Buffalo Bills swing tackle from last year. His name is escaping me at the moment. But so we have both of them to compete for depth. Pardon me. So I feel really good about our tackle position. Inside, we have plenty of depth already. Jacoby Thomas, Miami safety. He's a very explosive blitzer that's just kind of the Brian Flores special of this dude's just a piss missile whenever you send him on a blitz. And I really think that's what they've drafted in Florida was packages where they're gonna bring pressure. They're gonna come in heavy. He's gonna be a box safety, and him and Josh Metellus are gonna kind of have the same role in the defense. And then we drafted some other guys. There's a lot of Vikings fans are really high on Charles Demings, cornerback out of Stephen F. Austin. I don't know how excited you can be about 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. The NIL era has really hit the later round of the drafts. If you look at like hit rate for late from 4th round on, from like 1970 until like NIL started, it was like 28% or something like that through there, like average. And since NIL started, it's like 11%. Like, because so many of those guys who would have been like, oh yeah, I can be drafted, I can get into the NFL and start getting paid, are just like, well, I can just stay in college and get paid. Those guys just aren't coming out anymore. So it's just it's hitting the later rounds hard. So I have my reservations around that. We drafted a center out of Cincinnati, a running back out of Wake Forest that Kevin O'Connell is in love with. Kevin O'Connell described him as a diet Devon Achane. And I mean, the kid's very similar play style. He played at Wake Forest, had like 1,000 all-purpose yards, which isn't anything crazy. I don't know. I think he's going to be a scat back type player, kind of a speedster, but I don't expect that much from him. But they are very hyped interior about him. But that was the rundown on the draft. My thought on the draft: Max Breedson is a tight end out of Michigan. That was kind of a telegraph pick. I knew that. He was in almost all my like deeper mock drafts on the Vikings. Just the JJ McCarthy connection. He had already stated how much he'd love to have Max on the team, and that's just kind of a no-brainer thing. Get one of your quarterbacks some confidence.
Guy.
Yeah, go get his guy, and it made sense. But in more recent relevant Vikings news, Juwan Jennings.
It's a meeting today.
It is Tuesday, April 28th, and I got a notification saying he is in Minnesota tonight and will be meeting with the Vikings tomorrow. Man, I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
I would love for the Chiefs to go get a veteran like Juwan Jennings. Truly.
Yeah.
I have been saying all offseason he's somebody that I would like for them to go to bring in for a visit, but
So his market value right now is at $22 million per year. I just don't see the Vikings willing to pay that.
That's exactly why I don't think the Chiefs would be in on it either. That's
so
much money.
I don't see them bringing him in if they're that far off on the money. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to take a visit somewhere if you know going in, oh, they're only going to offer me $12 million.
But what if it's $12 million on a really good pitch?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I would love. I mean, that makes the Vikings the 1, 2, 3 in Minnesota the best 1, 2, 3 in the NFL in my opinion. If he were to go there.
Well, that's because you're biased.
But name a better top 3.
3 receivers that are really good.
I mean, Justin Jefferson and me are top 10. So, like,
I don't know, dude. Give me freaking. I hate that I'm about to say this, but give me freaking Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Andre Yoshivas over whoever the fuck you're about to say.
Over Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Juwan Jennings.
Yep, I'm good after Justin Jefferson. The 3 guys, 2 of the 3 guys that I just named from Cincinnati couldn't hold Jefferson's jock. Jamar Chase and him are not the same receivers, but they're both they're both dominant alpha receivers.
Yeah, for sure. They're 2 of the top 3 receivers in the NFL. Give
me T. Higgins over Jordan Addison. The availability sucks. Your best ability is availability. So the fact that he's injured often is unfortunate. Mm-hmm. But if we're just talking talent alone, because Jordan Addison has his own comeuppance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we're just talking talent alone, give me that all day long.
I mean, if you just give me CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Kavontae Turpin, I'm happy. So
yeah, well, you got 2 really good ones there. You got 1 really good one. You've got 1 good one.
And then Kavontae Turpin for speed. That's all I need.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. do I disagree with T. Higgins being better than Jordan Addison? Not at all. But Jawan Jennings would be a wide receiver 2 for 80% of NFL teams. So if you have him as your wide receiver 3, he was the Niners wide receiver 1 for the past 2 years. Just saying. That would be, in my opinion, the best three deep combo in the NFL. And with Jordan Addison, I don't trust him to stay on the field all the time. So bringing in that safety blanket in Jawan Jennings and having that for whoever is playing quarterback is, I think, huge. So I don't know. I really am trying not to get my hopes up on this. I still think the Vikings need to sign another edge rusher in free agency. We have a little bit more money now that we've gotten rid of Grenard. Let's see if I can pull up the exacts here. Team cap. See if they've updated it. Yeah. So they have $16 million in cap space. You could get that done on a 1-year mercenary deal with a free agent, which I don't even know off the top of my head who the free agents left. Let's take a look.
I sent the list in the chat.
You did. So let's see if you can pull it up. If not, I'm looking
right now. So DNs, Joey Bosa, Von Miller, Cam Jordan, Hassan Reddick are the top names.
Von Miller would be the only one that would really work in Flo's scheme out of those guys. There we go. Free agents. I couldn't find free agents on this list. That was crazy. Positions. We want edge defender. Let's see. So we want free agent type. No. Oh, they don't have an option to filter it by available, which is dumb. Yeah, they don't have an available one. Oh, available right there. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't really see. Dante Fowler would be a good one. Derek Barnett would be a good one. Kyle Van Noy would be a really good one. If you could go get Van Noy for a 1 year. Marcus Davenport wouldn't be terrible, but he never plays a full season, like ever. He always gets hurt. Cleveland Farrell's a guy I wouldn't mind having in the building for blue chip prospect type situation. I know he's been a bit of a bust. He's been a bust in the NFL straight up. But I really like him.
That's because the Raiders should have taken him with the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, exactly. I think the number one option I would take right now is Leonard Floyd. I feel like he would really fit in well in the scheme. I do not anticipate that, but I think that would be my favorite pick of all the available edge rushers, which I believe we need one. And then as far as receivers go, Jawan Jennings obviously would be a wet dream in Minnesota.
What about Tyreek Hill?
See, that was the next name I was going to say. Tyreek Hill, if the knee's okay, I'm in. I'm all in. Tyreek grew up a Vikes fan. I'm in 100%. I'm all in. I just don't know if the knee's okay. And he wasn't the same player he was. So if he comes to us saying, I want $26 million, I want $30 million, they kick rocks.
That ain't going to happen.
No.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks, bud. And then DeAndre Hopkins has already expressed, like, they can call me. If they want me, they call me. I'll come. Like, he's already said it. And then Stephon Diggs is the other one. Now, with all his legal trouble, I doubt it happens. I think he's going to take the OBJ approach, and it's just going to go silent for a little bit. And he might play, he might not play, and then he'll come back for a stint. Like, I don't see his career having a whole lot left to it after everything he's got going on, unless he just magically gets cleared of all of it, you know? Like,
who's that?
Stephon.
Oh, yeah, bro. He's going through some shit.
Exactly. So I just don't see that happening. So I guess it would be Jawan Jennings, a healthy Tyreek Hill.
I got a pitch for you.
Hopkins. What's up?
Sky Moore.
Why?
He's available.
That's it. He's available. He's available. That's it.
Let's see who else we got here.
I mean,
Zay Jones, Tim Patrick, dude, Chief Killer when he was on the Broncos.
I'd rather have
Go look
Curtis
up his
Samuel than
stats.
any of those guys.
Curtis Samuel's still available.
He would be a great wide receiver 3.
Keenan Allen.
I don't think Keenan Allen does it at this point in his career. He's going to be, I think he's either 34, going to be 35, or 34 this season. I just don't see it. What?
You know who's still in the league? I'm just looking at this list right now.
Who?
Mercedes Lewis.
Nobody called him. Ain't nobody called him Mercedes Lewis.
He was on a team last year, wasn't he?
Was he?
I swear to God, he was on a team last year. 19 years. My guy. Yeah, he was on the Broncos last year.
What?
His cap hit was 139,000.
Oh my God! He played in 5 games. He even got a start. He got 1 start last year.
He's got too much Broncos energy now, so that's unfortunate. But
Bro,
what a guy!
Is crazy. You know who's still in the NFL that deserves? Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
Stud. I mean, he's still a stud.
Yeah, he's 37 years old. So this is a guy I've seen a couple people mock Banks to, is Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell's even bigger. He's 6'8", 315. He has been playing in the NFL, the end, been playing at least 12 games a year, every year since 2008. He has been playing.
He got drafted by the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been playing at least 16 or 12 games a year since we were in middle school.
Bro, he needs a ring. My guy needs a freaking ring.
He was on those Arizona teams, those really good Arizona teams.
Mm-hmm,
and then he went to Jacksonville and was on that 2017 Jacksonville defense that just absolutely was amazing. And then he went to Baltimore and has been part of those amazing defenses in Baltimore. And then he goes to Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't do anything. Goes to Miami. They don't do anything. And then goes to Arizona. They don't do anything. I'm afraid he might be done. But, God, I would love Calais Campbell in Minnesota on a 1-year rental.
He's played 17 games the last 3 years.
Yeah. At 37, 38, and 39 years old.
Yeah.
Bro,
dude's going to be 40 at 6'8", 315 playing in the NFL. That's insane.
Playing a tough position, too.
Yeah, playing a trenches position. I mean, I can't
Hall of Famer?
Oh, my God. Gotta be. Off longevity alone.
Okay, dude, so we're just since we're on this subject.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep going.
Aaron Rodgers, 21. That's the most years of experience free agent. Then Calais Campbell.
Yep.
Name the next guy. Kicker.
Kicker.
I'm sorry. Then Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
This guy. Then Calais Campbell.
A 19-year kicker. Ooh. A 19-year kicker.
You got it, Cooner?
No.
That's tough.
What about a free agent right now?
Yeah, free agent available right now.
A 19-year kicker. I don't know.
OG fantasy legend.
OG fantasy legend kicker.
You're not talking about like Justin Tucker or anything.
No, he was drafted like 2011.
Come on.
Gano? Graham Gano?
He's on this list. 17 years.
Graham Gano.
Yeah, Graham Gano.
Crosby.
Greg Zuerlein.
Greg the Leg.
Greg the Leg.
Wasn't Crosby?
Not Crosby either. Didn't he retire?
I didn't remember. I'm trying to think.
Retired. He's not on this list.
Like old kickers.
I can't believe you guys are just whiffing on this guy. Matt Prater.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I didn't realize Matt Prater was that old. I didn't realize Matt Prater was that old.
Well,
went over my head. Well, I'll say this. I would really, really like to see Juwan Jennings in purple. I would not like to see him at over $17 million a year in purple. So that's that. Anything you boys want to add?
Nope.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you in the next one. Skol.